As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. He who is brave is free. We are always complaining that our days are few and acting as though there would be no end of them. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. No man was ever wise by chance. You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. He who suffers before it is necessary, and suffers more than is necessary. There is no easy way from the earth to the stars. Wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. Every night before going to sleep, we must ask ourselves, what weakness did I overcome today? What virtue did I acquire? He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. It is not the years in your life, but the life in your years that counts. Religion is regarded by the common people as true, by the wise as false, and by the rulers as useful. There is nothing in the world so much admired as a man who knows how to bear unhappiness with courage. It is the quality rather than the quantity that matters. The greatest wealth is a poverty of desires. While we wait for life, life passes. Drunkenness is nothing but voluntary madness. It is better, however, to conquer grief than to deceive it. Let us say what we feel, and feel what we say. Let speech harmonize with life. No man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by prosperity. Expecting is the greatest impediment to living. In anticipation of tomorrow, it loses today. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive. You must live for another if you wish to live for yourself. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. Nothing, to my way of thinking, is a better proof of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to stop just where he is and pass some time in his own company. It is, of course, better to know useless things than to know nothing. Time heals what reason cannot. The wise man does not allow his mind to be deflected from truth and virtue. Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for a kindness. The bravest sight in the world is to see a great man struggling against adversity. He who has great power should use it lightly. No man can have a peaceful life who thinks too much about lengthening it. A sword never kills anybody. It is a tool in the killer's hand. Wealth is not his that has it, but his that enjoys it. No evil propensity of the human heart is so powerful that it may not be subdued by discipline. It is more civilized to make fun of life than to bewail it. Man is affected not by events, but by the view he takes of them. A gift consists not in what is done or given, but in the intention of the giver or doer. Virtue is nothing else but right reason. We learn not in the school, but in life. He that does good to another man does also good to himself. No man is free who is a slave to his body. The day which we fear as our last is but the birthday of eternity. To be brave is to love the world and yet be free from it. If you wish to be loved, love. The mind that is anxious about the future is miserable. Even after a bad harvest, there must be sowing. Things that were hard to bear are sweet to remember. He who is everywhere is nowhere. To wish to be well is a part of becoming well. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. A good character is the only guarantee of everlasting carefree happiness. Whatever can happen at any time can happen today. The best ideas are common property. nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart. It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Constant exposure to dangers will breed contempt for them. What progress, you ask, have I made? I have begun to be a friend to myself. To win true freedom, you must be a slave to philosophy. The point is, not how long you live, but how nobly you live. One of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. He who does not prevent a crime when he can, encourages it. The time will come when diligent research over long periods will bring to light things which now lie hidden. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. To err is human, but to persist in the mistake is devilish. Let us meet with bravery whatever may befall us. Let us never desert our post. Let us train our minds to desire what the situation demands. Only time can heal what reason cannot. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. A man's as miserable as he thinks he is. If we could be satisfied with anything, we should have been satisfied long ago. Remember, however, before all else, to strip things of all the words by which they are exalted to their own cost. Man's ideal state is realized when he has fulfilled the purpose for which he is suited by nature. Life, if well lived, is long enough. Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive. There are more things to alarm us than to harm us, and we suffer more often in apprehension than reality. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Nothing is burdensome if taken lightly, and nothing need arouse one's irritation, so long as one doesn't make it bigger than it is by getting irritated. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Life is long if you know how to use it. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable.